have all the scores, and maybe we can begin our session today. So thank you everyone again for being here. So today we'll try to, our aim will be to finalize the top 30 list out of the AI and big data kind of cohort. Maybe we'll make the session into a very simple kind of, we'll do round robin, and then we'll see for each of the companies going top down. And then once we hit maybe the 4 or 5 recommendations mark, we'll stop at it. Unless if someone has like a very subjective opinion about one of the bottom scoring guys, and then we can bring that up for additional discussion. That's fine with everyone. Maybe we'll go starting with we'll say Leo from the right hand side, if that's okay. On BiHive.
Maybe I give my comment on the VD Labs. Yeah, I think the solution is good, and I think it's worth to promote to the top 30. Yes, and also the BizBus. BizBus is also a good use case for the local, for the parents that help them to understand or collect or, to help to arrange the exercise of their kids. I think it's really useful for the parents. For me, I have a kid as well. So, and also let me check. And also the Move It is one of my favorite because it helped to, to bridge the logistic firms and also the customers to help them a faster way to help them, to move their or transport all the furnitures and goods for the customers. This 3 is the top 3 for me.
So yeah, I think VD Labs is very interesting. They do have some issues with their go-to-market strategy because it's a very little company. A lot of these health tech guys really need to work with distributors and maybe even potential NGOs to actually bring it to everyone's table, every household, right? So it's like the But I mean, looking at the product, we actually with a science park, I think in the HKIA lab, right? We've actually looked at a lot of these visual impairment to aid kind of companies, but I don't think any of them were actually as compact as VD Labs. So I think in terms of product-wise, they've done a really good job in making it actually very convenient to use. Like if I were to be, I would probably try it out. Yeah. So.
I think the social impact for this company is really a big point because not for the big market, but for those really people need it. And also, it's very user friendly. If I ask them a question, is it a real time and a present? They both support it. Right. So I think it really helping the people with needs. Yeah.
And so I think BizBus was also brought up by Leo. What is our take on BizBus? I guess BizBus, we've actually taken a quick look ourselves through another JUMPSTARTER channel. Is called AEF channel called Venture Hours. BizBus was one of the companies that were quite persistent in engaging us. So we've received contact from multiple channels. They've as someone who's not a parent, but as someone who has been educated and attended a lot of after-school activities, like any Asian household, raises their child. I think this is something that could potentially be of value to a lot of the parents out there and the kids out there to make sure that they select quality, after-school activities, not just some random ones, and then waste kind of their, childhood, the child's precious childhood. So, if they're going to take classes, might as well be good.
Quite like this is a model that's articulated to she actually created quite a big ecosystem from education advisory, content management, down right to the logistic management. I think it actually competes the entire. There are competitors here called E-Class or Growth, etc. But I think their model is actually expanded on that. But she didn't really illustrate exactly how powerful her AI model is in creating that child profile. Right, if they do have a very kind of accurate model to describe what are the gaps in terms of what sort of competency, capabilities, that would be very useful. But I like them in terms of the business model, and it's very scalable as well.
Yeah, I like how they create the community and the product. But you know, like what I was thinking, because time is so limited that we couldn't really, you know, like look into it deeply. But you know, like. But as I know, there are like some competitors that are using neuroscience to do something similar, and you know, like there are also other similar, you know, products out there. So my question was, I think other competitors or players, they encountered the difficulty is how do you validate or you know, like how do you verify your product is actually helping those children, and how to measure the accuracies and something like that. And when you compare it to some other competitors, which is like they're using neuroscience, there's one which is called, I think it's called Brinkle. So they're, you know, like unicorn size, you know, like startups doing similar things. But so this is the question in my head. But you know, like. I think they're doing pretty well in terms of you know, like how do they you know, like create a community and a product. That's my question myself.
Yeah, I totally agree with Alvin on the competition. Right, there's, you know, obviously education's been around for a while. You know, edutech has been around for a while. So where's kind of their edge in terms of you know, the market execution and traction?
Yeah, I totally agree with Alvin. It's just like the. Sorry, but as I analogy, it's almost like the SFC world of providing the product suitability for investor. Because we have SFC, so we have guarantee at least some sort of governance on the product side.
Yeah.
But for them, I mean, I have no idea whether there's bias, whether there's conflict of interest of recommending the course. It doesn't seem right to me in that sense. Of course, I can see a lot of traction and also a lot of good effort being put into the platform. Things seem to be very professional, but it's like merely a platform business.
The biggest problem is, and I object to what you said, it's scalable. It's not scalable because you need to collect the data points on when and what every single time manually. No one will go to your magic platform and enter dates, new courses, what the quality, what the students should be and look like. So you have supply with students, maybe, okay, but on the institute side where the supply of courses comes, that's completely manual. So that doesn't scale. So we gave up after we immersed in that side of the story, right? Because the other side, the parent story is amazing, right? Everyone wants that. But to find people to go through paper, right? Literally physical paper to then pick out the data. And since she could not argue for that's their AI capability to kind of feed it with scanned paper and then figure out when the dates are and so, I don't think it's very scalable.
Even they can extract the data, it's just advertising. How do they validate the course?
Yes, exactly.
Really good, right?
So I really like right, I love the idea. No question.
Personally,
but you would you need a team of 1,000 people, right?
After all, it's a review. You might do some NLP or review and all that, but then it's not on your idea.
Right.
that could be a feature to be developed, right, and incorporated in that solution.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess we are of the view that maybe BizBus will take a rain check. we'll leave a to be decided mark and move on. Yeah, yeah, and move it, right? So I think their unique positioning is in the entire kind of logistics sector, not just last mile, not just third party, but they go from they also help with the actual kind of moving, packaging, delivery, unpacking, etc. So what is kind of our view on this company?
I can go.
Yeah, please.
I think
please.
for Hong Kong, amazing, really amazing. But anything beyond Hong Kong where you don't switch your house every 14 months or 2 years, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I move quite a lot.
You live in Hong Kong?
Yeah, we live in Hong Kong.
Maybe I live in more than 10 places in the last 20 years. So I have a lot of experience. In my experience, I don't think that is a SaaS model, because usually people believe word of mouth, and not until you work with a company, you never know whether they are good or not, or suit your kind of appetite. And I think that we have already enough logistic platform. Even our Google X, look at the stock price. So, yeah, and the AI is very primitive. It's just object detection. Any open source, and yeah.
Actually, they are not serving the AI service. They just incorporate some of the initiate AI related services only.
And they charge the moving company like 15 to 20%. Like if I'm a mover, I will give it to you.
Right.
Nowadays, the moving price is really skyrocketing because of the lack of human power, etc. Like used to be 1,000 to 2,000 per move. Now it's at least 5,000 or more.
Interesting. I mean, this company, I like from even from my question, I had questions about whether it can stand alone as a unique kind of platform, or it'll be more like just a tool for someone to absorb into their kind of businesses. So.
I think going back to your earlier comments on the AI element, I guess we are under the AI and data cohort.
Yes.
At the end of the day, when we actually say that they are in the top 30, so probably when we actually talk about the other ones, that may be a very important consideration whether we should be putting our names on top 30 as well. Otherwise, it merged and then people will question what's the AI element, then we probably will have a problem as well. Right.
Yeah. So for move it. After I asked a question that how the AI and also how they select a suitable company. So I think his answer is only like referring like the piano company. If you're moving the piano, you just refer. They didn't tell much about how the data, how they find a suitable one. So yeah, that part will be a little bit weak.
Collection.
Yeah.
It's even harder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like match. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess for this one, we'll put a to be decided mark. I guess maybe we'll follow down the route with the Joseph on what you think is what are the top choices out there. Maybe give us two, three more to discuss upon.
Maybe I'll talk about one first.
Sure. Yeah.
I find the solution quite interesting, but then the thing is they're not focusing in Hong Kong.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
MIC is a big thing, modular constructions. So I see the potential, but then I don't really see them talking much about how they want to expand in Hong Kong. And then also I think when it comes to data and also AI integration, perhaps they also didn't touch on how they link it to construction models like BIM and all those things. So this one, I think there's a potential, the business model, but then it just lacks the details.
Agreed.
Sora I find quite interesting as well, their business model
Sora.
on beauty.
Beauty is something that
think there is quite a bit of potential as well. And I mean, I think Amazon has been doing something similar before, but then it failed. More on the outfit rather than the skincare and all those things. So and then also I think skincare is really a personal thing. So I'm just thinking I'm not sure whether that's exactly right for an AI to actually tell a person what kind of product that you should be using. So that's how I see this. But then I quite like the model too. Yeah.
In terms of Wonderbrick, do we have any kind of follow-up comments? Because I think Wonderbrick has been engaging. We talked Wonderbricks, I guess, a little while back. Before, our advice would be to, if you have such a great business model, try to build a product, and then, so we'll see how it goes. So now they have a product, they're back to engage with us, and now I think the key question is whether if one, it's, I guess, scalable, and then two, whether if this is leveraging the kind of export. So basically, they manufacture cheaply in GBA area, and then they basically forward it and then send it to Australia for assembly and final kind of repackaging, etc. So whether if this kind of model is sustainable going forward, if there's any, I guess, disruptions in the supply chain, etc. So it's kind of our take on. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, and I could see like on all magic AI do the measurement. You take a picture of that corner, right, and you want your bed or whatever fit in there, right, and then it measures and does. But I'm just from IT, and I've been there in 25 years. I cannot imagine how that would work. Because it's a picture, you have no reference to that. Is it a meter? Is it 10 meters wide? It's a picture, right? It's 2D. You don't have a LiDAR that could tell you all this. And I could imagine how genius it could be, but then I didn't see any evidence that they gave on the technology side, right, that it is anything else than a builder go and measure more and then punching in data and more. Than you need to know if the builder actually understands. Then she talked about something that they have classes where they do one session and then the builders know how to use the tool. So it then how is that scalable to teach tens of thousands of builders to use the tool if the tool is so complicated, right, that you need a class to I mean,
I take it a little bit differently. I think what they're doing is just a concierge service. So after all, they're just matching buyer and seller, and they just use LLM to streamline the quotation, the project management, the RFP, those kind of things. I think it is scalable, but the problem is I'm uncertain about how much AI expertise they have. So maybe they have some building expertise. They're doing a very traditional trading business after all. And of course, any business is disrupted by generative AI. But then they didn't show really concrete expertise in those areas. So I would say like absolutely the factory building is a major area. Maybe even just by human, they can build some good business out of that.
Right. I recall that they have a very strong NLP capability in terms of the management team. So I'm not too sure how complicated those documentation would be for them to actually automate the process. But to me, I agree with you that it's more like a workflow management system. Yeah. But if that process is really complicated and that automation process actually help a lot, then potentially I will put my name on it as well.
I think the problem is just, I think they just finished off the presentation, like halfway, of their introduction of their product. So that's that's a little bit hard for us to assess, like how sophisticated the system is. But if you take reference to Procure and something like that, if they're doing software, SaaS models, that kind of stuff, I think it's scalable. But the problem is if they're targeting China market, the profit margin of SaaS platforms in China market is like 1/10 or one out of 100 of that selling in Europeans or Americans markets. So I think I'm interested in that in Wonderbricks. I just actually hit the territory, right? But I think it's a little bit hard for me to assess. Are they really good enough? Because they just end it halfway. So that's the main problem for me. So
I guess the other flip side would be to, we'll give them another chance to see if, they do better next pitch. I mean, I
think
yeah.
like bouncing off like their team. I think they have ex Huawei and
Yes.
yeah, they're I think the team is professional, so I believe they could have the capability of continuous R&D development. R&D. I think they're using not so much AI, but more like data collection and management. So they have scalability, and so these kind of if we are doing the like marking scheme, I mean doing it according to the marking criteria, I think they fit in like to most of the like marking scoring criteria, except that their market seems not so much focused on local and
Right.
And there's not much social impact.
Right.
If you would argue that they can save some waste in like building materials and stuff like that, but it's not so obvious
Right.
as of this moment.
Social impact is they will make a lot of people unemployed in Australia.
But yeah, I guess yeah, I think you're right, and I guess to kind of sum up the comments, it's kind of like a workflow company, but there are some kind of NLP involved. We don't know that the product is how exactly how complex the construction process is, but from the looks of it, I guess the company does have its traction, does fit some criteria of our judging. I guess for now, maybe we can give it a go and see where it can push it towards the top 30 to see if it can go further. If that's okay. Perfect. I know we're running a little bit out of time, but maybe we can discuss a few more. Sora, what is our take on Sora?
And Sora I also like.
Skincare, right?
Yeah,
Skincare,
skincare.
yeah.
I also like that they have put down some 30 metrics, but I also wonder like if they it's just a product in development. They need to dig more in terms of find out about the each product, because like their consumer council also does a lot of those survey. Go very deep on the product and also the customers' reflection. So there are a lot of data out there.
Right.
I think they haven't incorporated, but I think the team, I can see there's potential, but I just feel like the product is not there yet. Yeah.
So I want to raise two questions before we go on to Sora, because actually the next one is the Chinese company.
Yes.
So I'm quite impressed by the credential, the team background, but from what I asked, it seems like the guy failed to really address my questions. And but based on the credential, it seems very solid, receives the funding, certification and all that from the China officials. Should we give them a chance, given the unique position? Like we only have one like mainland Chinese company, we only have one deep tech, really AI company. Just wondering that. And on the other hand, the ByHive, obviously very strong team, serial entrepreneur, strong background. But are they overqualified for this competition?
Right. I think very valid questions. I guess one, actually, you actually touched upon a very key point, is that JUMPSTARTER tries to incorporate a lot of the different geographies as well. We do mention GBA angle, but obviously, you know, we also have a lot of U.S. companies, American companies, or, you know, European companies come in to try to pitch and then to see where that leads them. So I guess from a geographical perspective, that is very valid, I think. So it would be more of a consideration, like a more favorable kind of consideration. In terms of BuyHive, I think maybe I guess we don't penalize them. We won't penalize anyone because of experience, because of traction. But if they're willing to, you know, come to, I guess, I don't know where he's originally from, but if he's willing to come to Hong Kong, and obviously, you know, he's based in Hong Kong, okay. But you know, if I guess we won't penalize based on Hong experience. Yeah.
Towards the Chinese company, that's the guy that had SQL thingy. So I have a take, right? The whole world is moving cloud. No one has a data center anymore. Let's assume that we're CLP, we don't have one, we shut it down, right? We move to the cloud. Where is his market? I don't know, right? The traders, really? I mean, really?
They can still install in private cloud. They can still offer its full cloud.
Yeah, but then you need, yes, agree. Then you need Ali credentials, then you need Microsoft credentials, Google credentials, and AWS credentials right there that they are willing to pack your stuff into their data center and then sell it as a service. Otherwise, no one has a data center, right, to store these beautiful machines. And yeah, scalable SQL is, well, okay. There are tons of open source out there that do scalable SQL. Microsoft just released their SQL as a scalable solution about 6 months ago, which it was phenomenal for us, the users, right? Because same code, same everything. Here, I don't know which kind of language does he really compete against Oracle or Microsoft. It's a bit hard to tell. Plus, it's a box. No one wants boxes anymore. They want services, right? So, to me,
yeah, I guess that's a very valid point. I think because we're kind of short on time, so I guess we'll try to cut a tie between, I guess, BuyHive, I guess BizBus, Move It, Sora, and the Chinese company. So maybe out of these, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll just do a round of voting to see how many votes we get, and then we'll put the top 2 into the top team list, if that's okay. So if for BuyHive does so I guess we have as many votes as we want. So as long as you like the company, just raise your hand. If you don't like it, just don't raise your hand. So
Can I get one more? Like,
No, I pretty much like the A mine.
A-mine.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they are really solving a problem that
Okay.
the HR and also the human resource. So
Okay.
yeah.
oh, but I have an objection to that because I'm pretty sure it is violating the AI Act. Using AI to do this kind of discrimination, bias. I think this idea totally wrong.
well, I guess we can vote on it in favor or against. So yeah. So yeah, please.
I'm sure they will also look into the legal matters, right? If that's the case.
I guess we'll start from top down, if that's fine with everyone. So BuyHive, all in favor, please raise your hand. So we have three votes for BuyHive. Okay, perfect. We'll put a number here for now. BizBus, what is our take on BizBus? All in favor, please raise your hand. We have 5 for BizBus. Okay.
Or the parents said that you vote
The idea is good.
Love the model. All right. Okay. Execution, just All right. Okay. Move it. What is our take on Move It? All in favor, please raise your hand. Move it. Okay. Two companies. Okay. Sora Limited. All in favor, please raise your hand. We have 4 for Sora. Okay. For 贝格麦斯, which is big math, actually, in English. For big math, all in favor, please raise your hand. So we have two. Okay. Two there. And A-mine. For A-mine, all in favor, please raise your hand. We have two again. So I guess the winning contestants are BizBuzz and Sora.
All right.
And then that concludes our meeting. Okay, thank you so much everyone for participating.
Thank you.
And,
Yeah, nice discussion.
Thank you.